So give me just a little bit of backstory, kind of what y'all do for the community overall.
Okay. Well, our main task that we're given as an authority is to expand the tax base and bring jobs to Macon-Bibb County. That's our mission. That's what we're all about, is growing the tax base and creating jobs.
And I would guess y'all would be the equivalent of our Savannah Economic Development Authority?
That would be correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So obviously, have you been serving this authority for a while, or?
I've been on the authority for 12 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And let's talk pre-consolidation and kind of let's compare pre and post. But before the consolidation, what was the situation like here?
Well, we had, obviously we had two governments. We had a city and a county, and for us, it was a little difficult having to deal with both because it was a funding issue because how much would the county fund us, how much would the city fund us, and who's responsible for what, and what are we going to do any development inside the city of Macon, or if the county gave more money, are we going to spend more money out in unincorporated areas? So it was a struggle to do that. Funding was always a struggle because as it becomes in the way of economic development, we all know you can't do it without money, and funding was always an issue for us. Since this time, obviously, consolidation, it's gotten a lot better and it's a lot easier.
That's on the funding side of things.
That's
and then let's
correct.
talk about bringing business.
Okay.
What was the difference in that?
Well, okay, so let's step back pre-consolidation. Kind of walk you through what happens. Obviously, if a consultant or a company comes in, obviously they want to be a part of this community, and we try to put our best foot forward. Obviously, there's tax abatements and other things that we can offer through our program. Well, every taxing entity has to sign off on those, and that may be in each and every community may be different. But for ours, it's the school board. It was the city of Macon and Bibb County. So you would have to go through this process to get everybody to agree and to approve. And obviously, when money's being split based on the percentages, obviously there would be some questions between each government: who gets what are we going to do? So the incorporated areas, it can be the city limits. If it's in the city limits, how much are we going to get? Vice versa. So it raised a lot of questions, prior to consolidation. So it was not. Listen, we got things done prior to consolidation, but it wasn't easy.
Well, let's talk about was there one in particular driving economic factor pre-consolidation, and obviously because y'all have made a lot of strides since then. So what was it kind of like where we are, where we're just there's really not much that's coming and staying and sticking around to build bigger and better things?
Well, yes.
Is the construction bothering your sound? Is the whirring noise bad?
It doesn't look to be too bad.
Do you want me to get him to stop in 15 minutes or so?
I mean, if that's not too much trouble.
I've got the director sitting right over here.
Okay. Okay.
I think I can hold that.
Okay. Hold that thought.
What would you ask me again?
Well, just for backstory, just as far as obviously we can't bring anything right now. So I don't know. Was that kind of the?
Yeah, you asked me that question. Yeah, it was a little bit. Now we had some success from Bass Pro Shops and things of that nature. We'd hit one a year, but it was always a struggle because you didn't speak with one voice, and people probably don't understand how important it is to speak with one voice. It's very important in the way of economic development. I think it's been a game changer from us in economic development. Prior to consolidation, it was very slow. We did have a little success, but nothing in the way of the success that we have had now. I don't know if you've seen or heard about our numbers for 2017, which we were a little bit north of $700 million worth of investments in 2017. We did a little over 1,000 new jobs. I think we retained over 600 jobs we retained from existing industry. Probably put on, I think it was around $30 million worth of new payroll in Bibb County. I go back to the part of speaking with one voice. It makes it a lot easier, and especially for us now that our mayor actually sits on our board. So, you know, he is not only just the mayor, he's actually a board member of the Industrial Authority. So it makes it very easy. So he's getting it firsthand, and he can make those decisions, you know, coming right out of our meeting, unlike before where it would have to be two different governments having to come together and make a decision on economic development. So in funding, like I say, I mean, you know, this doesn't work without money. I mean, economic development is, you know, it's so different now because with all the consultants now, it's all about who can give me the most and do the most for us, and that's okay. That's good business for a company coming in. So funding is necessary to continue this effort we do. And I'll tell you, once prior to consolidation, funding wasn't always an issue. It was an issue for us always. And we had asked on many occasions for each one of the governments to actually help us out through sales tax or whatever it may be. And we couldn't never get the two to agree because both were needing money from both sides. Since the consolidation, I thought you heard Commissioner Tillman speak about a SPLOST that we passed. Well, in that SPLOST, we passed a $25 million. That SPLOST goes to economic development, and that is huge. And that's how big, and that's how much the consolidated government believes in economic development. They believed enough in us to earmark that $25 million for us over the next 5 or 6 years.
Were y'all 100% funded by city and county governments?
We are.
Okay.
Yes.
So obviously now post consolidation, y'all have got major success at this point. So talk about Amazon and then the other site.
Sure. Obviously, our latest, being Amazon. You know, Amazon is just one of the many. We'll talk about Amazon came in, and obviously they come in and they were on a tight timeline. Here they're coming in to build 1 million square feet. Their fulfillment center, obviously Amazon's fulfillment center is 1 million square feet, 25 acres on the roof. They should be up and running at I think August of 2018 is their deadline. So it was an expedited process, and so when they came in, they had a checklist a mile long, and like I say, I'll say it again. I mean, being consolidated, we could check that list a lot quicker than having to go through two different governments. In your opinion, do you think they would have even approached y'all if y'all had not been consolidated? Good question. No, I don't think so. I think as site selectors start looking around the state of Georgia, they look for that because they know a lot of these people, their timelines are very quick, and they know that the cities that they need to go to that can expedite this process. Some of these counties get bogged down in the political aspect of it. Not here now. I mean, we can mainstream a lot of this, and it's been, like you say, a huge success. Not just Amazon. We've got Irving Tissue, who landed out beside Kumo Tire, which I think they're on a 135-acre tract out there. We sold the Irving Tissue, $400 million in investment, 200 brand new jobs. That's manufacturing, and that was one of those companies that if we wouldn't have been consolidated, we would have never got. We wouldn't have even gotten a look if it wouldn't have been for our consolidated government. They told you that? That was told by by a site selector. Yeah, that's how important it was. And what was going through your mind when you heard that? Wow. I mean, I think we all knew this. A lot of people within the authorities and the government knew that we needed to consolidate our government, but that's when that wow factor really comes in. It's like, wow, if we wouldn't have done this, I mean, this would have missed out on a $400 million investment and 200 brand new jobs. But did you know that I think and like you said, if everyone had known, but if you knew that was the game changer, sure. I mean, sure, would have done it a long time ago, right? Yeah, because I mean, look at the success we've had, prior to consolidation. Yeah. Since then, since consolidation, how many jobs roughly would y'all say y'all have created? Since consolidation? Oh, roughly, we probably created probably close to 2,000 jobs probably. I think we're like I think 1,037 is like what we did last year. I think we retained about 600 jobs. We did the same thing. Okay. retaining jobs.
Okay.
You know, you always got to remember too, in economic development, about 80% of all your growth comes from your existing industry.
Right.
So it's important too.
Yeah.
And,
what, you know, did y'all play an active role in trying to push to get it
consolidated?
To get consolidated?
Sure, we did. Sure. I mean, that's beneficial for not just the community, but I mean, but for everyone. I mean, if, you know, economic development, like you say, the taxpayers. You know, high tide floats all boats. You know, and I think we're seeing that today. I mean, hey, listen, it wasn't easy, and it took some, and it, you know, it's just some growing pains along the way. But I think we worked it out, and I think just looking at last year, 2017, pretty much tells the story.
Obviously, y'all are now, you know, 5-6 years from the vote. When did y'all really start to see, you know, that this is really the difference maker?
Probably in the last 2 years. Last 2 to 3 years, you've really seen it. Because like in the beginning, just as anything is new, you know, you have to work the kinks out, and you have to figure it out and feel your way through it. And we've done that as a community, and then we're on the other side of that now, but we're really starting to reap the benefits from the consolidation.
Well, y'all really got a leg up. Only 8 city and county governments are consolidated, so
right.
y'all get.
That's right, and I think more will come. I think more will come. Like I say, speaking with one voice is it's very important, especially in economic development. Like I say, because when people come in, you know, they want this, and they want it now. I mean, they want it like yesterday. So being able to have that and speak, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because they don't. I mean, these guys, you know, time is money to these guys, and they don't like to wait around. So they want to know that you can get it done. They don't want to hear that you have to go to several of your taxing entities, and I can't promise you that works out the way it should.
Yeah, great. Anything else you want to add?
No. Well, I'll say this. I mean, I say that Macon-Bibb County it's an interesting place, and geographically, where we are, we've been fortunate with the interstate system and all, and our downtown. And I say that having the consolidated government that we have today, that they are so eager and willing to work with different organizations, and it makes it so much easier now to be able to come to one government and ask for help than to try to manipulate 2 different governments. So having it now, it makes it so much easier. Just look at the success, not just in economic development from industrial authority. Look at downtown. I mean, it's just another prime example when the government got together as one, what you can really do.
Would you say the downtown looks different 5 years later than it did?
5 years ago, you could park anywhere in downtown you wanted to. Now, today, you can't find a parking spot. I mean, it was desolate. I mean, and downtown is the atmosphere downtown is incredible. It's on fire, if you will. Downtown is just booming, and you know, our government has put a lot of time and effort in different authorities and different organizations to make it happen.
Would you say that's because it's easier to open up business and do business and
Sure it is.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Wow. Great. Anything else? Good job. Anything